It began as the perfect family, a loving husband, a beautiful wife, and 3 young children who filled their home with laughter. But behind the walls of that quiet house in Cheadle-Hulme, Manchester, jealousy was growing, and soon it would explode into one of the most shocking family murders in British history. On July 28, 2006, Rahan Arshad, a 36-year-old taxi driver, took a rounder's bat and bludgeoned his wife Uzma Rahan. Their 3 children, Adam Evan Abbasid and Henna, just 6 years old. The attack was so violent that police said it was one of the most brutal domestic killings they had ever seen. Afterwards, Arshad calmly packed his bags, cleaned his car, and fled to Thailand, leaving their bodies hidden inside the family home. For nearly 4 weeks, no one knew what had happened. Neighbors thought the family was on holiday, until the stench of death led police to the scene. Inside, they found a nightmare frozen in time. Investigators would later learn that Arshad had been consumed by jealousy. He believed his wife was unfaithful, that she had betrayed him. But his proof was nothing more than paranoia, a mind poisoned by control and rage. When arrested in Thailand a month later, Arshad showed no remorse. He confessed to the killings and said chillingly, "I confess to the murder. My beautiful kids, I don't regret killing that kind." This was no crime of passion. It was a calculated act of evil, a father who decided that if he couldn't have his family, no one would. This is the story of Rahan Arshad, the man who turned love into slaughter. Classification: murderer. Characteristics: parricide. Jealousy: number of victims. Date of murders: July 28, 2006. Date of arrest: August 30, 2006 in Thailand. Date of birth: 1970. Victims profile: his wife Uzma Rahan and their children Adam. Bassett and Henna 6. Method of murder: beating with a rounder's bat. Location: Manchester, England, United Kingdom. Status: sentenced to life imprisonment on May 13, 2007. Rahan Arshad, born 1970, is a convicted murderer of his wife and 3 children, who were found dead in their home in Cheadle-Hulme, Stockport, Greater Manchester in August 2006. On 13 March 2007, Arshad was jailed for life for the murders of his wife and 3 children. Man convicted of murdering family. A man has been jailed for life after being found guilty of murdering his wife and 3 children. Tuesday, 13th March 2007. Rahan Arshad, 36, beat his family to death with a rounder's bat at their home in Cheadle-Hulme, Greater Manchester, before fleeing to Thailand last July. The bodies of Uzma Rahan and children Adam 11, Abbas 8, and Henna 6 were not found for a month. The court was told Arshad may have been motivated by jealousy after discovering his wife was having an affair. Arshad of Turves Road had denied 4 counts of murder, but was convicted by a jury at Manchester Crown Court. They did not believe the taxi driver's claim he had killed his wife after arriving home to find she had bludgeoned their children. Mr. Justice David Clark sentenced Arshad to life imprisonment and said that in this case life meant life. Uzma's mother and 2 brothers were in the public gallery beside friends and other relatives as the verdicts came in. Her brother Rahat Ali shouted, "Iban," as the jury convicted Arshad. Describing the murders as brutal and horrific, the judge said Arshad had been convicted on overwhelming evidence. "You killed your entire family in circumstances of great brutality," said Mr. Justice Clark. "You beat your wife to death in her bedroom, and then coldly and deliberately, you brought your sleepy children downstairs to meet their deaths. There is no suggestion of mental illness on your part. Life imprisonment in your case means life." During his trial, the jury heard how Arshad battered Uzma with more than 23 blows in their bedroom before beating his children to death in their playroom. Their bodies were so badly decomposed that police needed dental records to confirm their identities. He had planned the murders in advance, buying the rounder's bat the day before and booking his ticket to Thailand, more than 2 weeks earlier. Arshad had told his family he was taking them on holiday to Dubai. It meant family, friends, and neighbors assumed Uzma and her children were on holiday, when they were in fact lying dead in the house. Police found their decomposed bodies on 20 August 2000. After detectives tracked him down in Thailand, he confessed to their murders moments after he was flown back to the UK. When arrested, he told officers, "I confess to the murder. My beautiful kids, I don't regret killing that bitch, but my kids, killing my kids." But he later refused to answer police questions, claiming his wife had beaten the children to death, and he had killed her. Speaking after the hearing, Date Supt Martin Bottomley, who led the investigation, said, "This is one of the most brutal and devastating murders I have ever dealt with. Many of us have children, which makes the brutality he used to kill his own children even harder to comprehend. The only time he has ever shown any remorse for what he did was when he first got off the plane from Thailand. We will probably never know why Arshad committed this awful crime, unless he chooses to tell us." Family's ordeal. Mr. Bottomley then read a statement on behalf of Uzma's brother, Rahan Ali, and the rest of her family. It read, "No one can heal the grief we have suffered. Uzma was my best friend, our beloved sister, and beautiful daughter. My mother can't understand how he could destroy them. This should be a peaceful time for my mum, but instead she's been forced to suffer an unthinkable ordeal. I'm glad this man will never get out of prison. The judge made a brilliant decision. A person like this should never be freed." Rahan Arshad. Profile of a killer. 13/3/2007. Rahan Arshad claimed he was the worm that turned. In fact, he was a calculating, cold-blooded murderer. "I adored her. She was beautiful," was how Arshad described wife Uzma to the jury. However, he also painted her as a bad-tempered, materialistic spendaholic who continually put him down and who thought herself superior to her husband. He said he struggled to keep her in the manner she had become accustomed. The private hire driver worked long hours for Didsbury-based Trips cars, although he insisted he respected her and never lost his temper. He denied he physically abused his wife and even claimed she had hit him. Arshad despised Uzma's newfound liking for Western clothes, her tight jeans and tops. It wasn't right for a mother and someone who came from Pakistan to change the way she dressed all of a sudden. It wasn't right at all, Arshad told the jury. He described to the jury how it had been an arranged marriage of first cousins who had never met, although he said they knew of each other through the family. Affair. He first became suspicious. Uzma was having an affair when her mobile phone would go on shopping trips in the car, and she told the caller, "I can't speak right now. I'm with my husband." Uzma insisted she was dealing with clients. She worked as a part-time beautician. He said he saw text messages which confirmed the affair was real, although she denied it. When she started to work as a beautician, she needed a babysitter for the youngest Henna, who was still a baby, for 90 minutes each day. Uzma eventually got in touch with a neighbor, Musarat Iqbal, who would look after Henna. Uzma started an affair with Musarat's husband, Nikki. When Uzma left her family and went to Pakistan in February 2004 to grieve the death of her father, Arshad, said he wanted to teach her a lesson and sold the Burnage Lane house for £90,000. He unexpectedly traveled out to Lahore, where Uzma was staying with her mother, dumped the kids, and then filed fake divorce papers with a judge and went traveling. There were even claims he married another woman in Pakistan, although Arshad denied this in court. It was a big, massive mistake, he told the jury. Reconciliation. When he returned from his travels, he said he wanted a reconciliation. After the intervention of his brother-in-law, Rahat Ali, who acted as a father figure and mediator, Arshad agreed to buy the house in Turves Road, Cheadle Hulme, and put the property in both names, although he lived there on his own for a while because of his unconvinced wife. He was unaware, he said, his wife had kept her council house in the meanwhile and suspected she was doing so to meet Nikki. Her husband embarked on a lavish spending spree, but Uzma was ambivalent. She told friends he had either turned a corner or was about to kill her. Count the days until he kills me, she said. He bought a £30,000 BMW 320, telling his wife it was an early birthday present. In fact, he had bought the car on HP, paid just one installment, and had insured only in his own name. He bought a computer for the kids. He bought bangles and gold jewelry for his wife. He redecorated the house with new fitted wardrobes, carpets, and a new banister. His spending spree failed to convince Uzma there was hope for their marriage. Husband arrested by Thai police. 192. Police arrested and charged a man they have been hunting in connection with the death of his wife and 3 children, whose battered bodies were discovered at their home. Rahan Arshad was met by police at London's Heathrow Airport as he stepped off a flight from Thailand at about 7 a.m. He was then brought from London to Manchester for questioning. The 36-year-old taxi driver is known to have flown to Bangkok on Saturday, July 29th. The bodies of his wife, Uzma 32, and their 3 children, Henna 6, Abbas 8, and 11-year-old Adam, were discovered at the family's £200,000 home in Turves Road, Cheadle Hulme, Greater Manchester, on Sunday, August 20th. The last known sighting of the children was 1 day before Mr. Arshad's flight, which was on the final day of term at Bradshaw Hall Primary School. It was understood murder squad detectives had been holding talks with authorities in Thailand about flying out to Bangkok in a bid to track down Mr. Arshad. It is understood the taxi driver had been traced by police in Thailand earlier this week and had agreed to return to this country voluntarily. The bodies of his family had lain undiscovered for up to 4 weeks, and post-mortem examinations revealed they all died of severe head injuries. Mr. Arshad's BMW 20 car was found abandoned at Heathrow the day after the bodies were discovered. 2 people, a husband and wife from Burnage, were arrested on suspicion of murder and then released on police bail. At a police conference, Detective Superintendent Martin Bottomley said, "As you know, we are investigating the murders of Uzma Rahan and her 3 children, Adam, Abbas, and Henna, whose bodies were discovered on Sunday, 20th August. Since Monday, 1st August, we have been liaising with law enforcement authorities in Thailand following the discovery of a silver BMW car at Heathrow Airport that day. As a result of those enquiries, Rahan Arshad was questioned by Thai authorities at the Thai-Malaysian border, re-entering Thailand early on Wednesday morning UK time. At 7 p.m. last night, Mr. Arshad voluntarily boarded a Thai Airlines flight in Bangkok to return to the UK in order to assist us with our enquiries. He landed at Heathrow Airport this morning. On leaving the plane, he was arrested on suspicion of the 4 murders and will be brought to Manchester later today, where he will be interviewed in relation to these offenses. Uzma's family has been kept fully aware of these developments, and a further press release will be made at the appropriate time." He appeared in court in Stockport last week. Family horror stuns community. Greater Manchester. Police have issued an appeal to the Asian community for information on over the murder of his wife and 3 children. The search for taxi driver Rahan Arshad, aged 36, whose family were found beaten to death at their home in Cheadle Hulme, has switched to the Thai capital of Bangkok. Detectives believe he boarded a plane at Heathrow Airport for Bangkok on Saturday the 29th July from Terminal 3. Detective Superintendent Martin Bottomley, leading the investigation, said, "We are liaising with colleagues in Thailand via Interpol to help us trace his onward movements. Of course, he could be anywhere in the world by now. I would ask anyone who has seen him or been in contact with him since 29th July to contact the incident room or any police officer immediately. Police would also like to speak with anyone who called at the house or phoned the family between 28th July and 21st August. His brother Rizwan Arshad has pleaded with Rahan to hand himself in for the sake of his family. He said, "Rahan, it's absolutely paramount that you come forward now to assist the police with their inquiries. If not for yourself, for your father, sisters, and me. You should know how much we all love you, and you should not feel as though you are alone, so please contact the police." The bodies of Mr. Arshad's wife, Uzma, 32, and their 3 children, Henna, 6, Abbas, 8, and 11-year-old Adam, were discovered at the family home in Turves Road. Cheadle-Hulme police said the bodies lay undiscovered for up to 4 weeks, and post-mortem examinations revealed they all died of severe head injuries. Uzma's family spoke about their loss in a statement issued by police. They said, "We would like to say that Uzma was a loving, caring, and devoted mother. We've lost a very special member of the family. Adam, Abbas, and Henna were gorgeous, intelligent, and well-mannered." Mr. Arshad's BMW 320 car was discovered abandoned at Heathrow this week, and detectives have now learned he boarded a flight to Thailand. Officials in Thailand are helping police to establish Mr. Arshad's movements after he landed in Bangkok. Detectives have admitted they do not know if he has flown on to another country. A husband and wife aged 40 and 35 from Burnage, Manchester, who were arrested and questioned by police, have since been freed on police bail. Officers are appealing to anyone who has seen anything suspicious at the house or who has any further information on Rahan's whereabouts to contact the Major Incident Room on 0161 856 7834 or Crime Stoppers on 0800 5511111. Shocked friends and neighbors talk of devoted father. Neighbors and friends of the Arshad family spoke of their devastation and sadness over the murders. Many paid tribute to missing Rahan Arshad, who was described as a devoted father. A friend of one of the children said the last time he saw Abbas Arshad was on the last day of the school term. Hassan Irsha, 8, said, "We played together. He was very kind. We were friends." Hassan's mother, Rafat, said, "Hassan was very upset when he heard the news. What has happened is horrible." The dead children were all pupils at Cavendish Road Primary School in West Didsbury and had previously attended Acacia's Primary in Burnage, both Manchester. Susanna Reeves, chair of governors at Cavendish Road, said, "This is a terrible tragedy, and our thoughts are with the children's family and friends. They were lovely children who were well liked during their 2 years at Cavendish, and they had many friends in the school. Their tragic death is a shock to staff who enjoyed teaching them and to the whole school community." Staff at Lancasterian School in West Didsbury, where Uzma worked as a dinner lady, also spoke of their shock. Assistant head teacher Julie Warren said, "Uzma was a valued and respected member of staff. She was very popular with staff and pupils. Her dedication to all aspects of school life was a real credit to her personality. We are all deeply upset by the news, and she will be sadly missed." Shelley Latham described herself as Arshad's best friend. She said he was a loving, quiet family man. "I don't believe for a minute he would hurt his kids. He idolized them," she added. "I spoke to him a few weeks ago when he had just come back from Spain. He said he was going to take the kids to Blackpool because they'd never been there before, and they wanted to go on the rides and the donkeys. When I saw the papers, I couldn't speak. I was absolutely gobsmacked. No way would he touch those kids. He was very, very quiet, a very private man." Shelley, a caterer who works in Didsbury, said Arshad and his wife had experienced difficulties, but were trying to work things out. She said, "He was trying to patch things up with his wife. He loved her to bits. He had always had feelings for her." Azhar Iqbal, who works for Manchester Car Audio on Stockport Road in Levensholme, said he had done some work on Arshad's BMW 2 months before he disappeared. He added, "I have known him for a number of years, and I have done quite a bit of work for him, including tinting the windows of one of his cars. I have also met him at weddings and other occasions. He used to drive a black Honda Civic, and I think he bought the BMW for his wife. He worked for Trips Taxis in Didsbury and used to drive an M-Reg white Toyota Corolla for them." The family's next-door neighbor at their former home on Burnage Lane said, "You've never seen 3 more beautiful kids in your life, especially Henna. She was gorgeous, and both parents were friendly enough. They used to come over with food for us, curry and rice mainly." Neighbors reported that Uzma and the children had lived for a short time at a sheltered home in Cheadle-Hulme. They claimed she had told them that around 75,000 had been wiped from her account while she was at her father's funeral in Pakistan about 12 months ago. One neighbor said the poor woman didn't have any money. That's why she ended up in sheltered accommodation. In the end, there were no winners. Only silence, the kind that lingers long after the screams have faded. Rahan Arshad was sentenced to life imprisonment for the murders of his wife, Uzma, and their 3 innocent children, Adam, Abbas, and Henna. 4 lives ended in one night, destroyed by a man who claimed to love them. The crime wasn't spontaneous. It wasn't born from madness. It was born from jealousy control and the belief that if he couldn't have them, no one else could. For nearly a month, the family's bodies lay undiscovered inside their Manchester home. Neighbors thought they were on holiday. Friends wondered why Uzma hadn't called. The truth was unthinkable. They had been dead all along. When police finally broke in, what they found was beyond horror: a mother and her children beaten to death in the place they should have been safest, their home. During his trial, Arshad showed no remorse. He told detectives, "I confess to the murder. My beautiful kids, I don't regret killing that kind." His words sent chills through the courtroom. Even as he faced life behind bars, he offered no apology, no explanation, only cold detachment. Uzma's family called her a loving, caring, and devoted mother. Her brother said he was our best friend, and her children were our light. Their grief echoed through every headline, every courtroom report, every whispered prayer for justice. The tragedy of the Arshad family serves as a painful reminder. Jealousy is not love, and control is not devotion. Behind many closed doors, similar storms brew quietly hidden beneath smiles and family photos. Some end with bruises, others with funerals. The murder of Uzma and her children shocked Britain, not only for its brutality, but for its message. Even the most ordinary homes can hide extraordinary darkness. Today, their story stands as both a warning and a memorial, a reminder of how fragile love becomes when it's tainted by fear. Justice may have locked away their killer, but the real justice is in remembering them not as victims, but as a mother and her children who deserved to live, laugh, and grow. If this story moved you, subscribe for more true crime documentaries that give voice to those who can no longer speak.